World-class accommodations were provided for the kayak bass fishing Dee Zee the 10 by Encore Resorts at Reunion. If you're planning your next trip to the Kissimmee, Florida area, be sure to check out world-class resort amenities and accommodations by checking out the folks at Encore Resorts at Reunion.
Look at that sucker.
Let's get it, baby! Yeah! Heck yeah, nice one, buddy! Get him! Get him!
I got a long way to go yet.
Is that a gator growling over there?
Yeah, he's right here.
Kissimmee chain, man. Amazing place to fish. Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, guys.
How you feeling?
Like I slept an hour too late.
No big deal. You're only fishing for about $30,000. Your ham sandwich. I don't know that he wants lunch. Josh is the most seasoned veteran in the house, considering the fact that he's never missed the 10. He's the only guy here that's been here every year, but he hasn't won it. Is this why?
What's going on?
Where you going, Scotch?
Where you think I'm going?
I don't want to go there.
Where you going?
Kissimmee.
Ooh, Kissimmee.
Yeah, I guess.
So why the late start?
I'm just not rushing it. I might start fishing kind of by the boat ramp and make my way to my primary area. But every time I fish, it's kind of later in the day, so I don't want to rush right to it. I want to get there after the sun's been beating down on it a little bit.
Yeah, I was planning on going to Kissimmee, but it's just such a long paddle. I think I'm going to go to one of the smaller lakes, so I don't have to, if it doesn't pan out, I can leave at any time or, switch up the situation.
Good morning, guys. We're standing outside here with Casey Reed out of Virginia. Casey, you're feeling, I know you got to be feeling good. You've had a great couple of days of pre-fishing. It's morning one, though, of the 10. You've grinded all year to get here. There's over $30,000 on the line. How are you feeling this morning?
Man, I don't know about a great couple of days of pre-fishing, but I've kind of figured a little something out. So if everything goes as planned, it could be an okay day today. So I just hope everything goes as planned and we can win some more money.
Walking into the house last night and being in the same house with all the competitors, breaking bread, walking into the awesome setup of swag that you had, what was your feeling last night when your head hit the pillow?
Oh man, I was tired. It's been a long week. We've been getting about 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night, and it was just another night, really. It wasn't a whole lot different. So, just another day of fishing.
Get out there on the grind, man. Good luck to
you.
you.
Thank you.
Well, it is the first day of the 10. We're on our way down to the south end of Kissimmee. And yes, I am not Chad Hoover. This is what happens when you don't win the 10 Invitational. They make you co-host. Although, if you remember the national championship, I told him I didn't ever want to co-host again. Well, that didn't work.
Day one in a 2-day tournament has a lot of opportunities. You can't win it on day one in a 2-day event. You can absolutely lose it on day one. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys break down, if they're finding fish, whether or not they're going to save them once they catch their limit and come back to them on day two, or whether or not they're going to completely shift gears and find another body of water. Here on the Kissimmee Channel Lakes, there's ample opportunities, and what we're finding is a lot of guys are already second-guessing themselves, going, do I go here or do I go there? Because there's good-looking water everywhere. It's going to come down to what guys think of mentally and how guys have put in the prep work to get what they're doing here on day one. There's over $30,000 on the line this year in the Dee Zee, the 10. $30,000. $10,000 is going to first place. 11 of these guys have grinded all year long to earn their way into this house. And bringing in the newcomer, the Floridian, the relative unknown, he walked in last night as a guy that no one really knows. He beat everybody once already this week. Can he do it again?
All right, down here in Florida into January for the KBF the 10, and kicking off the morning here in 2 minutes. 7 o'clock first cast. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Nice overnight temps, and hopefully some of these big fish moved up shallow. We'll see. Keep you updated.
Y'all are perch jerking, aren't you?
What are y'all fishing for?
We're actually covering a tournament that's going on right now. It's the biggest kayak tournament on the, well, actually, yeah. We got the top 10 kayak anglers in the world fishing against each other right now in Kissimmee.
I tell you what, these guys have earned their way to get to this spot by chasing and grinding all year long. We've got 3 of the best sticks on this body of water that have left from this ramp. We're gonna go see what kind of fish they're catching. I know there's gonna be tanks on the board. They've had lines in for about an hour. Let's go catch up. Let's do it. Woo! See, when you run a torpedo, you don't have all that.
He's picking at my boat. I know he is my boat. But hey, it's raggedy, but it'll get me to the lake.
Let's get it, baby! Let's go see what these boys are up to. Ha ha!
All right, so we just made it out to the south side of Kissimmee, and man, it was a beautiful sunrise. I'm sorry we missed it on video, but we're gonna go chase Mike Elsey. He's the current reigning national champion and the current rookie of the year, Derek Brundle. So we're gonna go see if we can find him in all of this mess. If you guys know Kissimmee, it ain't gonna be easy, so we gotta get on the water.
Behind me is one of the toughest competitors in the entire community of kayak fishing, Mr. Matthew Scotch out of Texas. He's a hammer on almost every body of water he's on. He's fishing some really thick vegetation, flipping that swim jig, making easy casts, short distances, doing a lot of sight fishing. The water here is really kind of clear. A lot of thick grass, a lot of cover. You know, it's been one of those things where it's been slow, a tedious process, but anybody that's going to stay dedicated to finding the right bite, it's Matthew Scotch.
All right, so as luck would have it, we got over here to our spot, and Mike Elsey's right here, and Derek's right there going back down that bank, so we've got them right here. We don't have to go anywhere, but I'm looking around, and I'm thinking about the song. These are a few of my favorite things over on The Sound of Music, because I'm looking, and we got spatterdock lily pads, we have Kissimmee grass, we have buggy whips, we have all kinds of this vegetation that are my favorite things to fish. When I come down here to Florida, this is what I picture fishing. So we should see some good sacks come out this week. It should be pretty dang awesome.
Right there, Mr. Matthew Scotch setting the hook on a good fish. He's one of the most dangerous anglers on any body of water he's on. He's known as the Texas boy. He's throwing that swim jig, throwing it up in this really thick, heavy vegetation. Found the right fish, set the hook. Now it's just time to get it on the board. Little photo shoot, throw it up on the NRS leaderboard. We'll check in with him in a few minutes and see where he's standing.
First fish of the day, real fat, healthy fish, pulled in here to spawn. You can kind of tell how fat she is. Solid, you know, maybe 2.5 pounder. Nothing crazy, but help kind of calm the nerves. This fish is probably half the size of the one that just broke me off, but it's a good start, and we're gonna take it. And she is 17 on the dot.
All right, Scotch, that was a great catch, man. What about the next one?
Yeah, hopefully the next one will be good. In this area right through here, I've missed a couple real good ones the past couple days, which is kind of a good thing. You don't want to stick them with the hook too bad. But I just broke off a giant right back here. I was throwing a 30-pound braid, and
I don't know if that braid was weak or whatnot, but it was a brand new braid, and I've already snapped my first 2 fish off with it. So I cut my chatterbait off my 50-pound braid, and now I'm throwing 50-pound braid.
Any opportunity that you think you'll come back to that fish in a little while?
Oh, I'm definitely, yeah. I mean, I'll probably go down a mile and come back, and this is where I'll be the rest of the day.
Gotcha. So you're gonna, so the missed what could have been a missed opportunity is something you're gonna come back for a little bit later.
I hope it still has my jig in its mouth.
So it's something about Florida fish. And I kind of learned this the hard way yesterday, watching the winner of the 10 Invitational, Alan Sweat, watching him fish. I was fishing too fast. These Florida fish, when they get in this kind of funky mood, you literally have to crawl your worm. So the slower you fish, the better. And it's so hard to do. I hate it. But when he figures it out, he'll start hammering them. Nice. Fighting over a fish. Oh, he dropped it. Ah! So we've got a bald eagle laying on the water, and he's not injured. He's got a hold of a fish that's too big for him to carry, and he refuses to let go of it. So what they do is they lay on the water and they spread their wings to give him more flotation until he gets his energy up and can hopefully lift it up out of the water. So what happened was he originally had it out of the water, and another eagle tried to steal it from him, and he dropped it and he went back down and got it. So now he's just guarding it. There he goes. Oh, almost made it.
All right, guys, if you're new to this little plastic boat community, I'm telling you what, it's special. One of the things that we love about it is the places these kayaks can go. The Texas Hammer right over my shoulder here, Matthew Scotch, has done a phenomenal job already this morning of proving that there's fish in here just waiting to take that hook, and there's no chance you're getting any other boat except for one of these kayaks up in that space. And Matt is proving that there's fish in here just waiting for that hook set.
All right, so let me tell you a little something that a lot of anglers don't realize when they're down here fishing the spawn in Florida. You see these lily pads, they're actually called spatterdock. And spatterdock's root systems are like logs, big hard logs on the bottom. And bass spawn on hard bottom. Well, when you don't have any, like here in Florida, you get a lot of the mush and the mud and the muck down at the bottom. Well, when there is no hard bottom, they're going to find whatever they can to spawn on. And a lot of times they spawn on these roots. And the trick to catching them is you basically want to sneak up on them. You make a cast way past the lily pads, and then you slowly work your worm over those logs. When you feel those logs, you give it a little twitch and a little twitch, and then you pop it up, and that's how you get the big ones to bite in this spatterdock. So remember that, and it's going to put a giant in the boat down here in Florida.
Nice little bass. Get him set up here on the catch board. 15 and a half. Well, that's the 5th fish today. Puts us up to 77. Boy, I gotta love it. Well, we got up in this back pocket up here, and I caught a fish in here earlier and had another one swirl at the chatterbait. And the sun's starting to pop out a little bit here and there, so I'm hoping that makes him a little more active. I came in, a few casts with the chatterbait, but nothing, so I picked up the Cinco and fired it out there, wacky rig, let it sink, and saw that little dink on the line, and it started to move out to the side. Set the hook, nice little 15.5-inch bass, give me my 5-fish limit, bring me up to 77 inches, so that was nice, worked out excellent, and I think there might be another one in there. I'm gonna try anyways. I caught my personal best yesterday, 23.25 inches. We estimated at about 9 pounds. I don't bring a scale with me because I think that's bad luck. But again, my personal best, it was amazing. I happened to get lucky with that. Finished second in the 10 Invitational,
And yeah, was that a gator growling over there?
Yeah, he's right here.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but he's not happy.
No.
He was probably trying to get that fish for lunch. Wow, that's amazing, huh? I don't get to see that or hear that in Massachusetts, that's for sure. That's amazing. I mean, the whole experience coming down, I mean, I drove 22 hours straight to get here. Been having a blast ever since. I mean, we've caught fish every day, thank goodness. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I mean, this whole journey, it's so exciting.
So, some might be wondering why I cannot stand to host a fishing show. You notice there's no rods in the boat. I love to fish. Sitting here, watching somebody else fish, and not being able to do it myself, I'd rather get my hand slammed in the car door than to have that, than to be sitting right here. But, heck, sometimes it's fun to watch somebody catch fish. No, it's not.
Anytime I pull a new jig out, swim jig, flipping jig, any type of jig, and it's got, got a skirt and you got your trailer on the back, what I do is I like to take my scissors and give it a little trim and make the profile the shape of the bait fish. See, if you trim it up a little bit, it looks a lot more natural. It looks like, a more natural bluegill presentation than if you were to leave the skirt long. If I take it and I swim it alongside the boat now, the profile is the same size as the bait fish. When the water's clear, or just anytime I'm fishing, just a confidence thing, I like my baits to kind of look about like that.
Well, let's see where we're at on the leaderboard now. Russ Snyder's got 85 inches. Russ, slow down, dude.
All right, so with that fish, let's do a real quick leaderboard update. We got Russ Snyder's in first with 85.25 inches. Then old Mr. Brundle over here with 77 inches, and Casey Reed with 56.75 inches. So we're looking pretty good. Let's head on over to Scott and see what's going on over there.
So yeah, I've been working the fan boat lane that's a little bit closer to the perimeter today, and that's been a little slow for me, so I decided to step out to the outer grass line out here, and I've been catching fish out here too this week, and it wasn't very long, and I picked up fish number 3 right here, 13.5 inches, and we're gonna let her go and try to catch her mama.
Oh! Right at the net. Ah! Right at the net.
This is a part of the hosting I don't like, because I can't help. I can't tell him what's really going on. I got to sit there and watch him figure it out.
So I'm just going to sneak around and cast around. Might find her, who knows. I haven't had much luck all week. Might be just one of those anglers that just horrible at Florida. I mean, even when I pre-fished here, I caught a catfish.
All right, since Derek is stopping to eat lunch and continuing to fish at the same time, which is a pretty good skill, let's head on over to Scott and see how Matthew Scotch is doing.
I know that as the day goes on, the bite's only going to pick up, and I only need to catch 3 more. And the way I'm fishing, I mean, they may not be big, but the fish I'm fishing for are big. So if I catch them, I'm going to be in it, and if I don't, I'll go down doing it the way I wanted to do it.
A little bit past the halfway point in the day, the clock's ticking. Let's check in with the Fluke Master and see what they've got going on.
Giant. Stay down, girl. Stay down. Woo! Oh, man, she looked a lot bigger out there. Man, she looked bigger out there. Whew. Right in the middle of taking a drink. Oh yeah, that'll help. 18 1/4. Man, what a beautiful fish. Boy, these Florida fish, they're dark. Pretty fish.
Hey guys, so I've had a hard day today. I've caught a few small ones. I finally caught a limit a minute ago. I lost a big fish, and then I just caught this one here. This definitely helps the cause. I got a long way to go yet, so no time to talk. We gotta get back to fishing. 18 3/4. Let's do it.
So, like I was saying, the bass like to spawn around these lily pads. Now, these aren't normal lily pads. It's called spatterdock, like I said earlier. And you can tell the difference between them and any other lily pad is the lily pads grow on the surface, or the leaves lay on the surface of the water. Spatterdock doesn't. Their leaves come up above the water, and they typically don't lay flat on the water. And those root bases being logs and hard, the bass spawn on it. And it has been really cool to watch these guys figuring that out as the day progresses. They realized that it was a Cinco bite. They realized that the fish wanted it slow. And then one cast into a lily pads and they catch a fish, and then another cast and they catch another fish. And then all of a sudden they figured out a pattern. Now, if they stick to it, I'd like to say they'll start catching some big ones. Giant. Come on. Yes, sir. Woo! Yeah, buddy. A nice bass, 17 1/2. Had upgraded a little over 1.5 inches there, 1 3/4 inches. Now we're cooking with gas. Man, you gotta love that. Gotta love that. I just jumped one off right here, throw in the next section of pads, and the rod goes thump. Love it, love it. I told you, the sun's coming out. It's gonna get good. It's gonna get real good.
This lake right now, it just hasn't been producing all the fish that I've wanted it to. And we're gonna change lakes. It's right down the road, and hopefully find 4 more.
Things are really heating up here on day 1. 1:30 in the afternoon. Not only is the sun coming out and the air temperature is heating up, so is the water temperature. But more importantly, the bite is on fire. Okay, we just got word that Casey Reed hooked into an absolute toad. If you guys have been following along, we've been telling you guys, Casey Reed is one of the most cerebral anglers that I've ever seen. He set the hook on a 24-inch monster. He hasn't loaded it yet to Tourney X, so we're unable to see and show you guys what's going on, but that's coming next. It's gonna get interesting. We're gonna get down to the wire here on day 1 of the 10 competition.
So I've been down here fishing Florida. It's been very tough, but it finally paid off. Look at that sucker. Yeah. So I just got that fish measured and uploaded. Whew. I can't tell you how awesome that was. I've been fishing this spot for a few days, been struggling on it, been catching some fish, but haven't really seen the size. And I cast right over there, I'll show you in a second, and then I have something just freaking smash it, and all I see is the back. And I had a big bowfin earlier eat the worm, and I thought it was a bass, but so again, I thought that one was a bowfin. When I saw its back, it just was straight black. So I was like, man, it had to have been a bowfin, how big it was. And it, you know, it came off. So I cast right back over there, and then I catch one, like, it was about 15 inches, I think. And so, you know, I didn't really think much of it. I was kind of thinking I was crazy and didn't think the other fish was that big. But I cast over there and hook into that big mama. 23 and a quarter inches, 23 and 3/4, I think. And I don't know, every bit of 9 pounds. But it was pretty amazing. And so this is all I'm throwing right here. Black trick worm, black with red flake, with a EWG style hook, straight to braid. I'm lucky I had that straight to braid, because I wouldn't have got that fish out. Right here on my trusty shaky head rod.
All right, so Mike just made a move. He came over here to the canals, to the docks. This is one of the fish camps on the lake, and he's just searching. He's searching hard, grinding, and stressing just a little bit too. So it's day 1 of the 10, and I'm out here competing against the best kayak bass fishermen in the world, and it actually is a very humbling experience when I stop and think about it. I mean, if I look at their accomplishments, it's absolutely incredible that I'm out here able to cast for cash with these guys. You know, I mean, I came in, won the 10 Invitational, earned a way in, and the community's great. They've been so welcoming to me, so helpful, and just to have the chance to go out and fish against them and see how I can do, it's just an adrenaline rush, unlike anything I've really experienced before. I mean, it's been a long time coming, I can tell you, for me to have some tournament success, and I'm just thrilled to be here. I feel very blessed to be here, very blessed.
There he is. Yeah, so the weather changed up from earlier, and had some clouds. That front passed through. Now it's all just bluebird post-frontal conditions. Those fish that were up shallow, I had a feeling they were gonna, you know, once the storm passed through, they were gonna back out a bit. So we came out here to these pads. They've just been roaming these pad fields, and also some fish probably on beds as well in these pads. You know, the thing about fishing these pads is it's like finding a needle in a haystack, because there's just so much water out here. But once you find them, you know, just hunker down, and there's probably more close by. So it's a good one here. It's definitely going to help. All right, so when I'm measuring fish, I always want the head of the board here angled downwards into the crack of the boat right there. And I'll lean it up like this and support it either with this piece or my foot. And I have my camera right here close by in a waterproof case, so I can just unlock it real easy. Always close it back up. I don't want to lose my keys in my wallet. I got a tether on my phone just to be safe. I'll always turn on my phone first and get to the camera setting and get everything completely good to go. Make sure it's on photo. I'll lay the fish on the hog trough. I'll usually hold the tail down with this end. Lately they've been trying to open their mouths, so the hardest part is just getting their mouths shut. There, come on. There you go. Yep, now I got it. Get it on the hog trough and get a picture as quick as you can, because you never know when they're just going to fly off the thing. So it'll go 19 and a half. 19 and a half. He's fat though. He looks bigger 'cause he's got a big belly on him.
I tell you what plays a big part of this game is strategy. Dylan, the kid Fuqua, has loaded up. Honestly, I think it's an extreme move, but from what I'm understanding, the new body of water that he's hit, he's finding some success. Let's cut over and check in on Dylan right now.
Hey. It's not in her mouth. It's not in her mouth.
Put your phone down so I don't have to buy it anymore.
Heck yeah, nice one, buddy. There we go. 15 and a quarter. Not a bad one. Caught it off the bed. Hopefully the female will come back and I'll catch the female.
Giant! Yeah! He's got a big head on that thing. It's not very long. I mean, look at the size of that head and his gills and his mouth, everything. It's just a short, fat fish. Like 1/3 of it is head and 2/3 body. I'll take it though. That fish just absolutely crushed this thing. As soon as it hit the water, it took it and ran right at me. By the time I set the hook, it was already this far. They're not biting it and just sitting in one place. They're taking it and running, which makes it difficult in these pads. No doubt this one's gonna help.
The only thing better than planning a trip to go chase trophy bass is planning a trip where you can bring the whole family, whether they're all into bass fishing or they want something else to do while you chase that fish of a lifetime. In the shadow of Disney and other great attractions, be sure to plan your next bass fishing adventure by coming to Experience Kissimmee.
Is he all natural look? A lot of snow and ice.
Yeah, but you
A lot of ice.
shower and not wash your hair. Yeah.